Hello everyone. I don't think anyone's familiar with this second channel yet, but I think some people who know me personally do. Yes, it's Hmong Gamer. New name for the gaming channel. Anyways, this channel is for telling horror stories that I just want to tell. From my culture, from other cultures, whatever that's online that sounds scary. So, I decided to do this after seeing Mr. Nightmare, Horror 21, etc. do all that. So I thought I'd stray away from gaming related things and decided to do some horror, since it seems simple and fun to do. So yeah, this is the start of a new channel on horror stories. So here we go. Let's tell some stories. And I'll see you in the next video. Number 1. Sleeping with the Dead. There was one really old Hmong couple that had no kids. Since they didn't really have anyone to take care of them, they were always short on money and didn't have any money for an AC during the summer. One night the man told his wife, since it was so hot, that they should move the bed right under the window and open the window, so it wouldn't be so hot while they slept. The wife agreed, and they moved the head of the bed right beneath the window. As they were sleeping, the lady felt something touch her face, so thinking that maybe it was just bugs, she wiped her face with her hands, trying to get whatever it was to buzz off. Then again, she felt something touching her face. She did the same thing once again. A few moments later, she felt something touching her face. This time, she was ticked off and tried to grab whatever was touching her face so she could squash it. As soon as she caught it, she noticed it wasn't a bug, but felt like a small hand. She opened her eyes and noticed she was holding on to a little hand that came from outside the window. She kicked her husband, and as he awoke, he witnessed what she was holding. A little in shock, he immediately looked outside to see if there was anyone right out by their window, in case it was a burglar. What he saw was nothing but a really long arm that came from the woods, which was about 20 feet away. He immediately told his wife to let go. As soon as she did, the hand shot back like a rubber band back to the forest. He told his wife what he saw, and immediately they freaked out and shut the window, being forced to stay up all night. The old folks said something about how you aren't supposed to sleep like that because it meant you were welcoming the dead to come sleep with you, or something. That was why the hand was bothering the old lady, because it was searching for an open spot to come sleep. Number 2. Lady in Red. I experienced this when I was 10 years old a long time ago. My family and I were visiting our first cousins in Minnesota during the July 4th tournament. It was the first time seeing them in a long time. They fled from Laos along with my parents when I was still a little toddler. My aunt and uncle had a son that lived there and was around my age. We got along well together, joked around, played video games. Then on the third night we were playing a game of truth or dare. I was up and picked dare. My cousin dared me to go into the basement with the lights off. They sometimes say they see a Hmong lady in red down there, and she comes up some nights. I was young and already scared and refused to go down to the basement alone. Later that night, while everyone was asleep besides my aunt and uncle, I slept on the living room floor with my 2 other cousins while my sister slept on the couch. My parents were sleeping in one of the rooms upstairs. All of a sudden, I noticed the doorknob on the basement door rattle, like someone was trying to turn it. With just the moonlight shining into the living room, I could clearly see the doorknob turn slowly. The basement door squeaked as it slowly opened. That's when I thought about what my cousin had said about the Hmong lady in red. That's when I saw her, stepping out around the door. She looked like a young woman in Hmong clothes, maybe in her 20s, and she was glowing transparent red. She walked by the couch where my sister and girl cousin were sleeping, just looking at them. Then the lady in red noticed me. I was frozen in fear. I didn't know if it was real or if it was just a dream. The lady saw me looking at her and started walking towards me. As she came around the corner of the couch, I didn't see her feet. It was as if she was floating. Now she was 5 feet away from me, getting closer and closer. I was frozen in fear. I couldn't yell for help, and I couldn't move. As the lady in red was about 2 feet away from me, my mom turns on the light, and the Hmong lady in red just vanishes into thin air, like a magic trick. She was gone. No sight of her anywhere. But before she vanished, I saw her face as she turned her head around and back before my mom turned on the lights. She had this sad yet angry look on her face before she vanished. My mom came downstairs to talk to my aunt and uncle before we left in the morning. The next morning I told my aunt and uncle and my parents about it. You know how adults usually tell kids, it was just a dream, or you were just imagining things. But inside they know what we saw. I'm in my mid-20s now, and I can still clearly remember how she looked like.
Oh shit! Yo, that bitch got me!